Warming up for red points, absolutely key. Warming up is to basically get you ready to pull 100% and prevent injury. My initial warm-up, I would do a route really easy. You know, if my max level is 8C+, 9A, something like that, I'd probably start on a 6B+, 6C. Should be completely effortless, really. It's just about sort of loosening up all your body, getting yourself moving. I might do that route a couple of times and then maybe do another route that's maybe 3 or 4 grades harder. I don't want to be feeling like I'm trying hard. I don't want to be getting sort of pumped or anything like that. I'm really just trying to get the blood moving around my body, just trying to loosen myself up. If I was warming up for a really short bouldery route, I would probably then want to do some sort of reasonably hard moves so that I'm getting ready to pull, you know, at sort of 100%. I might do that stage of the warm-up actually on the route, just do 1 move or 2 moves, but again, not, you know, trying to conserve energy, trying to be sort of reasonably controlled. If it was a sort of longer, more endurance-based route, then certainly if I was warming up for sort of trying to red point the route, where you're going to be managing some kind of pump, the red point, then I think you need to get a little bit of a pump going in your warm-up. It's a really tricky thing to learn, and you know, it's something that you learn from experience and everything. My final part of my warm-up before red pointing would be quite a long link on the route where I would really sort of start to feel a bit of a sort of burn. It's maybe counterintuitive and you're thinking you're wasting energy, but you're not really there. You're just preparing, you know, your muscles to deal with what they're going to have to deal with when you come to red pointing. Personally, when I'm going to red point a route, the final part of my warm-up is always, I would always bolt to bolt the route. You know, I would never just jump straight. I would never do a warm-up on a couple of routes and then just jump straight on into a red point attempt on this project. I'd always bolt to bolt it. And like I said, if it was a sort of endurance-based route, I would want to do some pretty long sort of links as part of my warm-up. I always like to time my rest periods between red points, so I know how long I've rested for. You know, I think this is good. Well, you need to know how long you're resting, but also future red point attempts, if I feel like I didn't rest long enough, at least I'll have some markers and stuff. I think how long you rest is going to depend on the style of route and also how far you got on the route on your red point attempt. I think, you know, if it's a really short route, short bouldery route, you know, that's only going to take you like a minute, it's more like a boulder problem, then you probably don't need to rest very long. If it's a longer route, then you're going to want to rest longer. Minimum resting period would probably be about 30 minutes, and I think it could be anything up to an hour. The longer you rest, the more the body's cooling down, you're not going to perform as well. I think it's important when you're resting to try and keep moving around a bit, don't just sit down. You know, keep the blood flowing, swing your arms around, jog around a little bit like that, just try and stay warm. If you've got to do belay duties in between, while you're resting, make sure you wrap up warm. You know, I found, like, you know, down jacket, windproof trousers over your climbing trousers is just an absolute winner. It just completely blocks out the wind. Again, might seem obvious, but make sure you've got plenty of food, you know, and the right type of food at the crag. You know, if you're out all day, whether it's working the route or red pointing the route, you're going to burn through a lot of engine. If I'm trying to do a really hard red point, I tend to only go on it when I'm sort of rested and feeling fully fit. Having said that, there have been occasions when I've been a little bit tired. Maybe it's the second day on us when I've worked a route and it's been a struggle, but I've managed to have a reasonable session on it. And then with a couple of rest days, when you go back on it, you feel doubly good because you've been like having a training session when you're tired and then taking the rest, your body bounces back stronger. Certainly, you know, now I'm in my 50s and stuff, I need more rest than when I was younger. It takes me longer to recover and everything. I wouldn't try to do a hard red point if I trained the day before. Try and give my body a rest and give myself the best shot at red pointing it. Obviously the big goal is to red point the route. There'll probably be lots of little goals along the way. For example, first day on the route, the goal might just be to learn the correct sequence, maybe not even do it. As the working process progresses, you'll set yourself goals like, oh yeah, I want to do the crux move from, you know, the bolt below, or I want to climb through the crux to the belay, or you'll have all these little goals which are really important for sort of building yourself some confidence. If the route's really, really hard for you, you also might have to make a decision about, well, am I going to stop trying it now? I'm going to walk away from it and come back, you know, next season or later on in the year. If you've been trying the route for an extended period, like, you know, 4 to 6 weeks on a route is, you know, a long time. You know, you're going to get physically and mentally burnt out. I think it's good once you get sort of familiar with the route and you know the route a bit better, to try and think about how long mentally and physically you can cope with trying to work the route or trying to red point at the route, because, you know, you need to sort of be realistic about what you can do. You know, the bottom line is, if you're not enjoying it or you're starting to get frustrated or anything, then that's obviously you need to take a break and go and do something else. Which is why, like I said earlier, you know, sometimes it's good to have some other little projects on the go. I think through all the sort of process of, you know, working a route and trying to red point a route, it's really important to try and be positive about your climbing the whole time. Breaking the route down into sections, setting goals, achieving them will help you to stay positive, build confidence and keep you motivated. It won't always go to plan, it never does, but, you know, don't beat yourself up about it. Just try and look for the small positives, even, you know, when you have a bad day. And, you know, if there aren't any positives, then just analyse what went wrong and then move on.